Welcome to Hicgi News Agency.
Hicgi News Agency Live. Welcome. Agency. Hicgi News Agency.
This is Hicgi News Agency.
News Agency. This is Hicgi News Agency.
News Agency Live.
We are live. Hicgi News Agency. This is Hicgi News Agency. President Museveni has just appointed a new cabinet. We have seen the big heavyweights losing, and we have also seen newcomers. Analysts are saying that there's an influence of the PLU leader. PLU is Patriotic League of Uganda, headed by the son of the president, and who also happens to be the commander-in-chief of Defense Forces, CDF. It was a joke that nobody believed that there's going to be an influence, a shake-up, according to analysts, being dominated by the influence of the first son. We are seeing the parliament being endorsed by PLU, and now the cabinet with a big part. But he has not only influenced the parliament, there's so many other places that he is influencing. That doesn't mean that the father is not in control. The father has also brought in his old people who are also in the cabinet. On the Senior Citizens Talk today of Hicgi News Agency, we are with Ken Lukyamuzi, the man who is the president of the Conservative Party, former member of parliament, Rubaga South. CPU also bought a presidential candidate, and we don't know yet the fate if they agreed with the results of the presidential elections. But we have already the president who has already sworn in. My name is Kivumbi Earnest Benjamin with an honorary doctorate. We are on the lectures of the Kabaka's Lake, where Ken Lukyamuzi, the man who loves the environment, actually can see the waves on behind here. Honorable, welcome to the Senior Citizens Talk.
Thank you very much. I feel very comfortable when I put myself here near the lake, which has an historical background. It was
background
generated by the Sekabaka Mwanga.
Sekabaka Mwanga.
Yeah, at that time, traveling from here to anywhere else,
Yes.
you needed the water travel, the boats. So the Kabaka wanted to generate a pathway from here to Munyonyo, so that it would travel straight to Lake Victoria.
It is small.
And it is an interesting scene. First of all, it is not only interesting in a sense that one wonders whether he would have made it into the lake. But I think what is also interesting is that it is the only existing lake in the center of Kampala. The rest of the lake covers are outside. So it gives us pleasure that the Kabaka of Uganda could generate an interesting scenery, the first of its kind and the only one of its kind in Uganda.
In Uganda.
Yeah, which commands the water, the presence of water in the center of the city.
Oh my God.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I have heard what you've said, but I'm also disappointed by the way things are moving.
You are
Because
disappointed.
first of all, you have got two leaders now. President Museveni is commanding leadership, so is his son. Many acts have already become law through the son, which also, according to the Constitution of Uganda, is in open defiance of Article 79(2) of the Constitution.
Seriously?
Which says nobody can generate any command of law which doesn't have the force of Parliament. So whatever Mr. General Muhoozi is doing is contrary to the contents of Article 79(2) of the Constitution. I don't know whether President Museveni knows that. So many things are going on. So many laws are being implemented in a nutshell. And doing so is in breach of Article 79(2) of the Constitution. So the president stands warned. Yeah.
As a lawyer,
Yes.
we are seeing, I think you passed a law that prohibits leaders to that magnitude who have dual citizenship from being appointed responsibilities of that nature. And there was a fake letter which has been disowned
Yes.
by the State House.
Yes.
That the president has not authored such a letter. But let's assume the letter is fake. But how about the content? If at all it is true
No,
that some of them hold.
I have already heard that. Dr. Muganga is one of them. He has dual citizenship for Canada, and he's a citizen of Rwanda, and he claims to be a citizen of Uganda. So obviously, if the 12th Parliament is serious, it must question the status quo of that citizenship. So I would not be surprised if Parliament stops the appointment of Dr. Muganga for the ministerial position he has been awarded. It looks clear for such a framework to be entertained.
In what spirit was that brought, that someone of another citizenship should not be given this responsibility?
I think that talking as a political scholar, I would like to think that through comparative politics, I can imagine that possibly it must have been the first son that recommended before President Museveni that a colleague like that one be appointed on the cabinet. Because I think Muganga is one of the supporters of the PROU.
How about this man who has been at the UN? Odonga Otto has been given the most powerful, I think, ministry.
I don't know, by the way, what is his status?
He's now the Minister of Foreign
No,
Affairs.
but I mean in terms of citizenship.
He's also one of those who are questioned.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if he's equally questioned. But in terms of interpretation of what that one might mean, I would like to think that possibly he has been appointed minister because I think with the support of General Muhoozi, because he knows he's soon coming to power, and he would like to Mr. Ayebare to generate support for him internationally.
He's a good negotiator.
Because I'm also surprised that President Museveni would sacrifice him at the international scene. I think he has been one of the best emissaries Uganda's had at the international scene.
I agree with you.
And sacrificing him for a ministerial job would be absurd if one is serious in political terms. Yeah.
And we're also seeing army people being appointed to take ministerial positions. Yet UPDF also has a representation in parliament. But now these are not, they are part of the UPDF, but they're also taking ministerial positions. What does the constitution as
well, they have to step down aside in accordance with the Article 208 and the 2010 of the Constitution. Whoever is appointed as a military officer must necessarily step aside in response to the Constitution. So I also expect those people appointed to step aside.
Honorable, the cake, how you've seen, has been shared. Are you satisfied with the cake?
No, I'm not satisfied, but there is another protest. In accordance with what is happening, I doubt whether Uganda can claim to be sovereign.
We've just passed a law, and the
because
president has,
when you look around right now, first of all, the appointments of those people we have been talking about is in open defiance of the Constitution on sovereignty.
On sovereignty.
Two, when you read the Constitution of Uganda, Article 1 says all power belongs to the people. I don't know how true that statement is with reference to what is happening right now. I tend to think that it is wrong for us to claim to be sovereign in a situation where our sovereignty has already been penetrated by foreign events.
You're scared.
When you look around the Kampala, in Munyonyo, in Zambia, there are hordes and hordes of foreigners flocking in Uganda as if there is no control.
But the president is a Pan-African.
Yeah, but we are not the only country that would support, who would necessarily welcome people.
Where do they want
we
you?
Must
Where
have
do you
some,
want them to go?
We must have some breaks. Otherwise, I don't think it is pride for anyone to say that Uganda is the
bulungi nnyo nnyini ddala ate nga ba Cable International Group bakulambuza Africa okutuusaako mu game parks ez'enjawulo okukyalira obutonde ebibuga n'ebifo ebirala n'abayagala okufuna obujjanjabi obusukka emitala w'amayanja okusoma oba okwetaba mu conferences okwetoola ensi yonna byonna babirina. ayagala air tickets ku miwendo emirungi bakyaliko ku ofiisi yabwe oli Namasuba bakulambike oba ku mutimbagano ogwa www.cableinternationalgroup.com osobola n'okuba ku namba zaabwe oba whatsapp noti 77373556 noti 77373556 noti 2 noti 933556 bakwesunze ye Cable International Group. Let's travel
country to welcome refugees. That is an absurdity. On the other hand,
we've had the Afghans, they came and that was good. Even US has sent
not only
some.
that, a country like United States of America funding Uganda to accommodate refugees is an insult to the constitutionality.
But the Bible tells us to be kind.
Yeah, but you know, we are a very poor country.
Okay.
These people are a threat to our citizenship. I'm told that they are free to even cultivate around.
Yes.
And extend the agricultural impact, connectivity.
Yes.
That is very dangerous. Eventually, they will claim citizenship.
Oh, and you are afraid we may have another president who is maybe from any of these refugee people.
Yeah.
Like now we are seeing, we are seeing there's one in Tororo also, from Indian race, born here, of course.
Yeah.
But he may become a president.
Well, if he's born here, that is not too much of a scare. But there are many people who have been brought in as a result of the bondage of those in power. And that is a very dangerous phenomenon. I was telling you that I'm not happy with the way things are being done here in Uganda. For example, I don't think that Ugandans should have reason to celebrate their independence. When you say power belongs to the people, what does that mean? When you say power belongs to the people, it means
we're the bosses.
That the people of Uganda should be seen to be the bosses of the Ugandan nation. As we speak now, that is the contrary. According to the framers of the Constitution, they envisaged that when one is a citizen of Uganda, he should be the basis of power.
Oh.
Okay? And that the follow-up of this dimension would be that general elections take place in the country so that gradually people regain power through the voting system. But the elections predominantly are fake.
So if
the elections are fake, if they cannot demonstrate the realities surrounding the ownership of power in terms of power position, then we have a problem. That is why I think the best way of nursing the ambition of power sharing would be for us to endeavor to, right now as we speak, to amend the contents of Article 178 of the Constitution so that we constitutionally amend that provision of the Constitution which stopped people from acquiring the powers, because when the Parliament of Uganda implemented that provision of regional tier, after knowing that the provision was fake, they desisted, they rejected, and it was supposed to be taking off as from July 2006, but up to now, nobody is interested in the fake item. What does that mean? That means that instead of endeavoring to be the owners of Uganda through the provision of Article 1 of the Constitution, that one is becoming very uncertain. It is full of probabilities because of the fakeness of the elections. Elections are never free, they are never fair. If they are not never free and fair, we can only acquire power, leading us to the right to self-determination through the acquisition of the power line in the Constitution by amending that provision of the Constitution on what would be the federal arrangement. Because that would then ascertain that we own power. And if we own power, even the cheating of elections will stop, because the regions will take shape of the ownership in their respective areas to manage elections properly. There's nobody who cares now about quality elections because of the generalization of the process.
I see. How about when the parliament decides the president, not the common man now? Because it is a rumor, and things many times which have been rumors have turned true.
Yeah, I'm seeing that one happening, because
especially if the parliament is in the hands of the executive.
Yeah, I do hear that one of the reasons why Oboth has come as speaker is to ensure that he creates room for parliament to be persuaded through the vote to directly elect the president instead of subjecting the day to a one-man, one-vote process. This is what I'm hearing. And that, since if we get to that position, then it will be too bad.
To be too bad.
Be too bad. So the waters of politics I'm seeing are full of uncertainties. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Yeah. Because what about the old folks who have been nursing President Museveni all the years? Do you think they will keep quiet? There are people who have invested hugely in the current political system, and they are not ready to entertain any nonsense if you are bringing changes to entertain your son. I can say problem. The odd thing is that we don't have a strong parliament, strong enough to enable the opposition take shape. That is very disastrous. The current opposition is weak.
Oh,
it is not
the likes of
strong
your friends
enough.
Being behind bars now.
Yes.
For 1 year and a half. Is
Can
it
you imagine?
1 year?
Yes, can you imagine?
And Ugandans have forgotten about it. Do you know that?
Can you imagine? So there is, I can see a big problem.
Another one is in exile
And
after elections.
I am not talking here of the nope, but I think I'm happy that Honorable Mwiru has been promoted to the chief whip of the opposition. But in my view, that would not be enough, because I think he fits to even become a LOP.
Oh, he can command more than.
Yeah, because I was
not there. We are seeing some Uganda is not there. Which kind of opposition are you going to have?
There is lack of cooperation.
Oh, you decided to sell the.
Because I think the most recent opposition of power was the FDC, not so?
Absolutely.
I remember when the opposition, the FDC was still in command, we had a viable opposition. I remember the time when I was shadow minister of water and environment. I was also an occasional leader of the opposition whenever the top brass of FDC were not around. Imagine I was representing a party as one person, but the opposition FDC had the courage to entrust me with the power to represent them whenever the top was not around. What does that mean? It means that when you are the leader of the opposition, you cannot feel the stench of leadership and power holding in the right direction when you don't embrace the rest with whom you share a commonality. And that is very important. You feel comfortable when the rest of the opposition people are giving you support. Hence, holding a strong shadow cabinet. I don't see a strong shadow cabinet now. I don't know whether it will come tomorrow.
Because DP has marriage now with the ruling party. FDC is almost destroyed. UPC also has marriage with the ruling government.
It still has quarrels with the ruling government.
And so you are right by saying the opposition is...
I don't know, it's almost going. It is almost going. I don't know. Political parties of the kind trend. You remember how the Democratic Party during the days of Benedict Chiwanuka. Historically, I praise Basil Batlingaya. Used to be the leader of the opposition when the leader of the party was outside the party, or outside parliament. But do you know what he did? Unlike Mao, Basil Batlingaya was persuaded by the government side, Obote, to join the government. And he became, I think, a big person in UPC. But he went all of a sudden and did not want to stay partly in the party and partly in government, as Mao has done. The connectivity of Mao, not bad, in DP and NRM is very dangerous.
For more than 10 years, Kivumbi International Group has been your #1 partner in tours and travel consultancy. We also do real estate, legal services, ICT services, and much more. Find us on kibinternationalgroup.com or write to us at info@kibinternationalgroup.com. You may also write to us at PO Box 35827 Kampala, Uganda, or visit us on Namaswa Hill off Entebbe Highway. Call us on +256 200937566 or +256 3948632 or 46. Or you can send us a plus on WhatsApp on +256 752 1375 66. Kivumbi International Group, your #1 real business partner.
It's dangerous.
You can even kill the party in total.
The oldest party in Uganda.
Yes. So I can see a big problem facing NOP. Being few will not be too much of a problem, but what sort of people do you have?
The quality
among the few people. The quality of people you have. 2, I was not happy with the way the induction process was developed. Those of us who are lucky to be part of the 7th and the 6th Parliament, we saw the essence of a real induction. During our time, the induction would even take 2 weeks. But recently they said the induction for the 12th Parliament will take place in 2 days, 3 days. Can you imagine?
Yet you were few and these ones have so many.
What can you advance in serious terms in 3 days? Some of the essential machineries prevailing over parliamentary practice require time to understand and sensitize the rest of the members who are new. As we speak now, about 300 MPs are new. Over 300 are new MPs.
But they give them orientation.
I'm saying that the orientation was too brief to be of any impact. And I'm saying that, for example, a good member of parliament, who is a good member of parliament? A good member of parliament must not be a jack of all trades. He must or she must specialize. There are areas where specialization is ignored, and yet those areas can form a base for the efficiency of a member of parliament. You have what the sector called the rules of procedure of parliament. These are the rules that govern parliamentary practice in a living parliament. A member of parliament can choose to specialize in the rules of procedure of parliament, so that whenever he stands to speak, because of the acquaintance in terms of efficiency on rules of procedure, everyone in the house will honor him or her. A member of parliament may specialize in the budget, because the
like
budget,
I'm seeing Mwanga Kivumbi has been
because
doing.
the budget is a very important.
Uganda.
Yes, the budget is a very important component of government. A member of parliament can choose to specialize in a matter of public concern, which I and Agra worry in which we specialize. A matter of public concern is an approach of challenge where you only dawn without the notice of the minister concerned or the speaker. You just stand up to speak. And that area of debate is very common in the Commonwealth countries. It is engineered to tap the weak ministers.
But they're using it to
Speaker,
impeach the president. And there are threats in the UK so much. Even you are almost impeaching the
Then there
president.
is another area of interest, which is also very interesting. The area of talking about the dead. Gradually people die, and prominent people die. Whenever they die, they must be sent off properly, with dignity. They need to do some research about the essence of a given person who is lying in the house, the history about him, his performance, and the discussion about the phenomenon of death. Sometimes you need to go to visit William Shakespeare, the tones of William Shakespeare about the dead. You remember Shakespeare said, "Let death come when it wills." But if someone loses a person, can you say that? Is in tears, and you say, let death come when it will, because it has to come. Then you have also another area of point of procedure. It needs some specialization. Because you can knock down even the prime minister when he's holding the chair, the microphone. Once it is a procedure, it is a procedure point, it is a procedure point. You are entitled to intervene at any one time.
At any single time.
Even if it is the president talking. Then you have another very exciting area, which is part of the routine of parliamentary opening, the State of the Nation address.
It is now normal in Kolo.
Every year, the president of the country must speak, must open parliament. Without prejudice, I would like to praise President Museveni, much as he may be satanic, but I must give him credit because he has not failed to fulfill this role.
Okay.
It is a big challenge to be ready to speak and open parliament every year. He has been doing it for the last 40 occasions. It's not a small thing.
But
much
the
as,
members of opposition shun it many times.
yeah, they may shun it, but he does it. He tries to do it. That's what I'm talking. Because there are many occasions when a president like that one could choose to delegate. I think he delegated it only on one occasion in the name of Kigongo. Moses Kigongo had to represent him on only one occasion. The rest of the occasions has been at full play, which I think is a credit, much as we are his critics. Lastly, when you are Ernest Kivumbi and you are a member of parliament, you must choose, or you should choose the person with whom to sit.
Yeah.
Because you cannot be intellectually sufficient to yourself. There are times when you need consultation of your colleague.
Just like in court,
Am
you
I
can
ready?
consult
Am
your
I
colleague.
ready? Can I bring this one? During my time in the 7th Parliament, I was sitting near Luhindi.
Nakawa.
And each one of us helped one another. I moved many motions which became law. He was guiding me. I was also guiding him.
The power of memories has never been so meaningful than when time passes by. It's only in photography and videography that we can be able to tell what exactly happened in our lives. Do not lose the beautiful events of your life, from graduation to birthday parties, introduction ceremonies, parties that matter, wedding. All this and much more can be brought down into memories of photography and videography. At KEB International Group, we understand what it means to keep these memories. We're inviting you today to contact us for the best rates in town for your photography and videography events. +256 702 13 75 66 or +256 773 13 75 66. We will cover and reach you at any time, any part of the world. No matter the time, we are here to keep your memories alive. Okay, videography and photography, your #1 events memories.
But more importantly, let me quote one scene which was most interesting. That was during the time where Pakabulo spent 2 years as Speaker of Parliament. Speaker of Pakabulo, whenever I stood up to speak when I was talking about the State of the Nation address, he would not time me. The occasions when I spoke for as long as 40 minutes. And when his colleagues challenged him, do you know what he said? He said, yes. At that time, I was still a young man. He said, you know, that young man, once he's ready to speak and he starts talking, I want him to speak for as long as possible, because he poses me as a small professor for my members of parliament. For my members of parliament. And you know, having participated in many a debate at school, I had gained sufficient experience to debate. And there are occasions when I challenged the government. Members of the cabinet, like Semakula Kiwanuka, Professor, Apollo Nsibambi, Babu, they would come ceremoniously to challenge me when I was holding the floor. I would not get scared. I would submit that they come. Then the time they spent into trying to interrupt me enabled me to prepare myself, so that when I came back, I would thrash them all to their surprise. You see?
You are a debater.
Yeah, we enjoyed the sessions of the 7th and the 6th Parliament, including the 9th Parliament. You remember how I was relieved of my parliamentary services because of the claim that I did not declare my wealth.
Hicgi.
It was not true. It was not true.
Seriously?
Yeah. We were 35 people who seemingly delayed. It was not a crime to delay when you have reason.
Oh.
I had my sick mother in Ilbaga Hospital, who was most of the time in coma. He passed away later on. I tried to explain, and Justice Mwanda, because she must have been on mission together in the company of the speaker, 35 people were accepted. They were pardoned. It is only me whose forms were returned, even after explaining.
For such a grave matter.
Yeah? Because the delay was a technicality. And under Article 126, Clause 2E, technicality should not sabotage the democratic process of justice.
But you were also sabotaging government programs.
Yeah, I think
like Victoria.
I think
like
that was the main reason. That was the main reason. One of the reasons why I was sent away from Parliament was because I had become a pillar in the government programs. For example, the program of endeavoring to fight the water crisis using toxicity was dangerous to human life. People like Speciosa Kajuri, who was sufficiently trained in medicine, it surprised me when they wanted the deal to go on. I said, my God, you want Uganda government to start buying glyphosate, 2,4-D, and what? To apply directly this toxicity in water, in the waters where national water draws the water we drink. Is it not hazardous? Is it not killing? Because they wanted money to buy off those medicaments, which they would. I was surprised. At one time, Dr. Kaziwe nearly wanted to slap me in front of Parliament, having become a saboteur in the deal to apply toxicity in wiping out the water. It was terrible. I lived in a very difficult situation. And it is good that I am still living. During the days of the Odomer, you remember?
Odomer was a police officer.
That was about the time.
I was young, but I would remember.
Yeah, that was about the time when I was nearly killed. One of the forces, the policeman who was doing the investigation, broke silence to me after he had left the country. That I have been given 13 million shillings to finish you off, but I have chosen not to do so, and I've run out of the country. I hope when the government falls, he will resurface, because he did not die. He went away in hiding. But I think he could not reject the money, not so? He must have gone. He must have gone with the money. Not so?
But serving your life was very crucial.
Yeah, most crucial. And I will ever be grateful to him. I will not be living. People like Chanjo, are they living anymore? Yeah. I don't even know. I don't even know how I managed to live on, because there are many testing areas. I would like to thank the government for sparing me, because even the move to impeach the president was very dangerous to me. And there was a reason why I was impeaching the president.
What are the reasons?
I was impeaching the president because the president, after attaining aid from Britain, used the money sent to him to provide medicament in hospitals for the purchase of a presidential helicopter. I had a very strong reason.
And did you have evidence?
The diversion, yes, I had evidence. The diversion of money of that kind into doing what it is not supposed to do is in open defiance of Article 107, 1C of the Constitution, economic sabotage of Uganda.
So you wanted to impeach the president?
Yes. But of course, do you know what happened?
But they didn't have numbers.
The numbers were increasing, but something happened. The numbers were increasing from time to time, but I was scared. Sometimes I would not stay at home.
You didn't learn from home?
And it is one MP who let me down. That is the Honorable Odonga Otto.
Odonga Otto betrayed you?
He was the one who was keeping the signatures. So as we got into over 90 signatures, he breaks the news to me. He says, you know, Ken, the signatures are stolen. I could not believe it. That was the story of the crusade. That was the end of the crusade. Could I go on to ask for more signatures from people who had already given me signatures?
What does that tell you? The signatures are stolen.
Stop there.
Why was so scared for his life?
I will never forget that. He was such a nice debater. That's why I kept company with him.
Okay.
We were collectively doing well in the parliament on the floor of the house.
Yes.
That surprised me. And, that became the end of the story. Yeah, well, as a result of our good performance, Agra Wadi and I were named as the best performing MPs by the Africa Democratic Institute of Netherlands. Wow. Yeah.
Katubanjulire kisa kya Mukama Cleaning Services tulongoosa peva, amategula, tiles, terrazzo, endabirwamu, sofa sets, emifaliso, bed covers, carpets, tuwoza engoye, landscaping, building renovation, fumigation, tulongoosa bank, ebizimbe binene, industrial buildings, hospitals, hotels, schools, n'amakanisa. Tusange ensambya kwa Ave Maria ng'okkirira ku Mubaraka mu maaso ga Hicgi petrol station. Essimu yaffe eri noti 755 35 93 59 ne noti 788 35 93 59 ku website www.kisachamukama-cleaning-services.com ne ku social media platforms zonna Kisa kya Mukama Cleaning Services bazze tulongoosa.
I was also given another trophy by the Uganda Law Society and FIDA, which was presented to me by the Honorable Kadaga. Parliament was very interesting for me. I would never forget the experience I got. One thing I would like to state, Mr. Kivumbi, there is no giant classroom as giant as parliamentary chambers.
Oh.
When you are in parliament, you are as if you are in a unique heaven classroom.
Okay.
Nobody will speak without checking what he's going to speak, even if he has to speak twice in the day. So that means anybody who is chanceful to belong to parliament should never play about with that presence in parliament. It is a unique, fundamental classroom with which you cannot compare with any other area of collective study, including the university. Because at the university, during the lecture room, there are some students who are not serious enough to talk sensibly. The others who are very brainy and they can speak sense. But a parliament, the person talking knows that whenever he's going to talk, he'll be heard, he'll be checked by people he's representing. So he takes trouble, or she takes trouble to ensure that he or she checks what he's going to speak. I remember of a very important occasion in the International Conference Center.
Yes.
During the days of Right Honorable Sekandi, when the president was invited by members of parliament through the speaker to speak about issues which were matters of concern at the time. The NRM members were not as bad as people would have thought.
Yeah.
Because when they sensed that where I was sitting, Right Honorable Sekandi was avoiding to enable me catch his eye, they put down all their hands all of a sudden so that only one of mine remained. So that the speaker has no option but to give me an opportunity to speak. That meant that even the MPs were enjoying my contribution.
Obviously.
Yeah. Yes.
So, Honorable, you have known, I know you are the man of the Kabaka, you've advocated for Mengo, but the cake, as I've asked earlier, does Buganda have a sufficient share?
Thank you for posing that question. Obviously, Ernest, Buganda has not been treated so fairly. I remember I was part of the audience that watched these people go to the bush. And I remember very well that when they landed in Wambish after Natete, the next spot they came to was my area, Kabao, Motundu, where I had a small shop called Dollar Kiosk. It was giant in a way that many people were giving me support. And when the front line of the soldiers of Museveni knew that they were in my courtyard, they stopped. Someone putting on uniform, others were not in uniform but were armed. So I surrendered most of what I had in the shop, the eats, mandazi, bread, bananas, and I was happy that we were sharing because the trust they had in me. They ate what I gave them, and they did not die. So meaning what I gave them was safe. But judging from the news we were getting from where there are many people who surrendered their wealth in support of the war. There are many people who died because of the war. And many of them have never received what they were expecting. But of the greatest necessity to understand why the people of Uganda are not happy. The main reason why they supported President Museveni was to ensure that Buganda and the rest of the regions in Uganda got the federal governance reinstated.
Oh.
Because federalism was abolished unconstitutionally. I want to cut the story short, but I should like to talk about what happened in 1966. Obote was very much attracted by the leadership in the East, the socialists and the communists. So he was dealing with Nyerere, Abdallah Nasser, Kaunda. They had the Murungusi Club area of attraction in politics. And many of the friends of Obote told him that you cannot survive politically when you have a federal system of government, and including the kings. Good enough.
Welcome back from the short commercial break. This show is brought to you by Cape International Group. Those who want to tour the world, do you want to tour Uganda? Do you want to tour Africa? Call Cape International Group at +256 773 1375 66. Honorable John Ken Lukyamuzi, the man.
Yeah.
You want to say something about the environment, the fact that we are behind nature.
Yeah.
Nature's always been your
my source of admiration.
He even composed
Yeah,
a poem
first of
about
all,
nature.
Yeah, one thing I would like to say, this government does not seem to have appreciated the magnitude of duty and the nature which God gave us. Uganda has the capacity to make more money in terms of economies of scale on the basis of nature than any other manifestation.
Ffe bakimbowa concrete products nga tusangibwa wano e Nakawuka-Mpumudde nga tukola buli concrete work yenna abeetaaze pavers ez'omulembe ole bricks mu size zonna tulinako inchi 4 inchi 5 inchi 6 ne inchi 8 wano e Nakawuka-Mpumudde okunana ne health center 3 era nga products zaffe ziri ku miwendo emirungi ddala tuzitunda okusinziira mu mitendera. Inchi 4 erina price yayo ennungi, ne inchi 5 ne inchi 6 ne inchi 8 osobola tufuna ku masimu gaffe wano wammanga 0751 25 87 48 n'endala era nayo Airtel 0703 98 66 84.
Point I'm making, for example, what we get out of products which are naturally manufactured can exceed what we plan to get as a result of collecting sales tax from products which we import from Pakistan or India. And that is an understanding which should contribute a lot to our future plans. Uganda is the pearl of Africa. Yes, it is the pearl of Africa, but a lot remains to be done. For example, when the government says it would like to plan the manufacture of cars working on electricity, as well as the standard gauge railway, one wonders whether the government has done anything substantial enough to guarantee the supply of that product.
What is your fear?
As we speak now, there is need for the government to put in more efforts to promote wetlands. There is a very big decline in wetland formation. In the 1990s, the wetland cover was about 23%.
23%
of the total cover. Now we are declining up to 8%.
8%.
Yeah.
There's need to worry.
The cover for forests in the 1990s was about 24.
24%.
Yes. The decline of 8.5 now. It is a disaster, a catastrophe.
It means we're not going to have more forests in the next 10 years or 20.
Catastrophic. Now, I am worried. I am talking authoritatively. First of all, I am a former shadow minister of water and environment, a recipient of the East and the Central Africa Environmental Leadership Award. I am the former vice president of Global International. This is the global association of MPs committed to the protection of the environment and headquartered in Washington. I am not happy with what is going on, because right now I can see a catastrophe coming. For example, let's take the ecology of the Kampala water flow. Kampala, about 7 years. Whenever it rains, all the waters gather at the Kivumbi. So Nakivumbi channel is becoming a permanent water source. Not so? Nobody should have been allowed to tamper with the ecology of that channel. Anything can happen to the houses harm Kigon is being constructed along that channel. Some of the experts I talked to, they are also of an architectural mind. They proposed that the matter is so serious that anybody who endeavors to build any construction along that channel would almost be required to go up to the rock on the ground, which they have not done. Now, when it comes to the environment proper, climatic change and what have you, this is the source of chaos. I'm going to narrate. When these waters collect at the channel, they are supposed to have a direct exposition with the sky. That is why when you go to London, I don't know whether you have been to London, the Thames which you hear, the River Thames, is openly running across. Why don't they cover it?
Oh.
Because the aquatic lives in the channel,
What London Bridge crosses?
aquatic lives must be living. In nature, there are dead waters and living waters.
Oh.
Once the waters die, they can no longer promote oxygen supply because the aquatic lives are in charge. So there's a reason why people have been making noise. There's a big problem. If these waters go to Lake Victoria when they are dead, and they reach the Nile when they are still dead, the power force surrounding the waterfalls will die off equally and they narrow.
Is that the science?
Yes. And once they weaken, the turbines will beat space. They have no surviving line. I mean, the turbines will no longer generate electricity because the waters are dead.
So
The more the waters die, the more they become stagnant. And this is biology.
I'm trying to say that Ahamu's channel is blocking.
The channel is a catastrophe. All this is happening because we do not have a living practical parliament. The parliament was supposed to question NEMA on why there is no environmental impact assessment carried out before HAM puts up all those constructions.
NEMA said they never issued him a green light.
They didn't have to. It's a responsibility. Under Article 39 and Article 245 of the Constitution.
And government is compensating people every time it is raining and flooding.
So our worry is now, Ernest, in the event that government ignores what we are saying, those waters can weaken to the extent where the waterfalls will weaken.
But is that scientific
and
evidence?
Once the waters weaken, the waterfalls weaken, you know what will happen? The generation of electricity will equally weaken. Lake Florida in US was as powerful as our waters here. It weakened and it is now completely dead.
So what should we do, Honorable?
The constructions of Hamukigun must all be blown out.
Over your jealous say of development.
No, not at all. For example, now we go to the generation of energy, of petrol, fuel. oil. We equally don't stand well.
But it is time to reap money from oil.
Because the environmental scholars, practical ones, have all advised, including myself, that Uganda should not risk building a refinery along Kabale. Why? Because Uganda is too narrow to manage the refinery. First of all, there is a danger that the agricultural practice in Bunyoro might die.
Because of the refinery?
Yeah. The most outstanding advice would be to sell oil in its form, raw oil. Secondly, I have been attending most of the environmental impact assessment reports in the oil sector, including the one which was held in Oiba in 2008. There is still a problem. Nobody, I have written in the New Monitor, my articles used to read them about the maximum force.
Yes.
It is my articles that persuaded the president to change. He had given in to the easy shrewd traders from South Africa who had persuaded him to surrender the maximum force for a dam.
You saved the country.
Yeah, I saved the country. There are about 136 oil wells in maximum force.
136 oil wells.
Yes. Now,
isn't that a game park?
If you extract the oil, if you don't extract it oil, you extract that oil meaningfully or wisely, there is a danger that as you extract that oil, because the water formation in oil well one will interact with the oil wells around the nearby lakes. You could contaminate the water formation. Once you do, it is very, very dangerous. Nobody has guaranteed that the extraction of the oil will leave the nearby water body safe.
So should we leave the oil honorable? Because you are threatening us.
Some of the oil wells should be abandoned.
Oh.
After all, I have not seen any convincing reports that what we are going to harvest is worse. The damage we are going to do is worse than the damage we are going to cause to the environment.
That if we harvest money and they steal it, then and they will destroy the environment. But the president has plans of constructing roads.
Two, we have a big worry about nature and the tourist industry. You know very well that most of the endangered species of birds and the mammals, the African skimmer, the shubin stock, they are all harbored in the herons, the red herons, they are all harbored in the Albertine graben. And that is the focus of the Albertine graben in Europe. So, Bunyoro environmentally is in danger. I don't know whether the king has known that. I was supposed to talk to him, but I did not travel. I had been given an appointment that I failed because of the elections. Otherwise, there is a big problem. But I'm happy that there's, I think, a forest cover which is being revived. They had wanted to destroy it. Otherwise, there is not so much hope in oil, Uganda's oil.
Honorable.
Lastly,
Yes.
I can see a danger. Though the government does not want to talk out, but a lot of money was already received by government before oil is extracted. And many contracts which were signed were bringing in money. Where is the auditing, the accountability?
You're demanding for the audit.
Yes, because, yeah. Lastly, I'm saying this because what remains to be done is almost distanced from Uganda. The United Arab Emirates company is going to take almost everything. We have a small percentage of oil.
Is that what the contracts are saying?
This is in terms of percentages. We are sharing it with the Chinese, Tanzania, Uganda, the United Arab Emirates takes the lion's share. Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure speaking to you, Honorable John Ken Lukyamuzi, the man on the senior citizen stock.
It was very interesting.
Thank you, Honorable.
So you.
The Senior Citizens Talk is brought to you by Africa at Heart, Heal the Planet Global Organization, HICGI News Agency. Subscribe right now to get our latest updates sent every single Sunday. Don't forget also the Talk to the World show that is running every Thursday at 4 p.m. Subscribe here on YouTube and make your notification bell right here. HICGI News Agency. Visit us on hicginewsagency.com and find us on all social media platforms on X, call it Twitter, on TikTok, Instagram and Facebook. HICGI News Agency. Subscribe now.